Why did post-punk emerge from specific socio-political forces? Imagine a world where cities are falling apart, economies are shrinking, and the future looks uncertain. That's exactly what was happening in Britain and America during the late 1970s and early 1980s. Post-punk did not just appear out of nowhere. It was born from the struggles and upheavals of that time. The decline of traditional industries like coal, steel, and manufacturing left many urban areas in ruins. Abandoned buildings and bleak neighborhoods became symbols of economic decline. Young people living in these areas faced limited job opportunities and growing social disillusionment. In Britain, the election of Margaret Thatcher in 1979 brought policies that widened the gap between the rich and the poor. Her government pushed for privatization and cutbacks on social services, which increased inequality and created more social tension. In the United States, Ronald Reagan's election in 1981 led to similar conservative policies that favored big business and reduced support for the working class. These political shifts made many feel that the system was unfair and unresponsive to their needs. Musicians in both countries responded to these conditions through their music. They inherited punk's DIY attitude and rebellious spirit but wanted to say more about the world around them. They experimented with new sounds influenced by German krautrock and other experimental styles. Bands like Gang of used angular guitar riffs and sharp lyrics to criticize consumerism and alienation. The Clash took on issues like racial conflict and class inequality, turning their music into a form of activism. Many young people in urban neighborhoods felt pushed aside by mainstream society. They lived in cheap apartments and experienced poverty firsthand. Their environment was marked by urban decay, and they felt disconnected from the cultural mainstream. For these young artists and fans, music became a way to express their frustrations and to find a community that understood their struggles. The underground scene was more than just music. It was a space for resistance and hope. Post-punk also grew out of a larger wave of political activism. Movements advocating for feminism, anti-racism, and anti-authoritarian ideas influenced the scene. Artists saw their work as part of a bigger fight for freedom and social change. They used their music to challenge the status quo and imagine alternatives to the oppressive systems they faced. All these factors, economic hardship, political reaction, urban decay, and social activism, created the perfect environment for post-punk to emerge. It was a response to a world that felt hostile and unjust. The movement was born from the need to make sense of chaos and to push back against forces that tried to silence or control young voices. That's why post-punk is more than just a style of music. It's a reflection of the times and a voice for those fighting for change.